The wind began to speak in the tongue of ancestors, dragging old voices from their graves, murmuring secrets buried beneath your bloodline. You felt it last night, a strange heaviness in the air, as though the moon trembled behind torn clouds, watching you with a knowing eye. Something ancient moved across your threshold, invisible but undeniable, crawling up your spine like frost from another world. The walls of your home heard it first, the creaking not of wood but of spiritual unrest leaking through the cracks of time. There are names in your family line that were never spoken aloud, souls bound by oaths made in shadow and sealed in silence. And now, one of those names is scratching from beneath the soil of your memory, begging for attention, demanding release. Archangel Michael says this is not your imagination, nor a trick of the flesh. This is a spiritual summoning, a call to awaken because the chain that shackled this generational curse is starting to rattle loose. A wound you never inflicted is bleeding again, and it seeks you, not to harm you, but to find its judgment through you. Last night, a candle flickered 3 times though the windows were closed. A mirror distorted your reflection for only a second, long enough for heaven to signal that the veil had been pierced. This wasn't superstition. It was the beginning of your reckoning. There was a time, long before your birth, when a decision made in haste cursed the future of a bloodline not yet born. That decision, made in bitterness and pride, echoed through generations like a hidden melody no one could trace. But now, the echo has found you, because you are the key to breaking it. God says the curse hunts you not for punishment, but for permission to be shattered. You were chosen before you took your first breath to carry this confrontation forward. You were marked not for destruction, but for spiritual warfare that few are strong enough to endure. The enemy has been whispering in a familiar voice. It mimics someone close to you, dressing itself in smiles and gestures you trust. But beneath the mask, it carries the assignment to confuse, delay, and scatter what heaven has aligned for you. Type Amen to receive a covering of divine protection. Every spirit not sent by heaven is already trembling at the mention of your awakening. You have power rising in you like a locked gate swinging open to holy fire. Someone in your bloodline gave permission for darkness to nest. They thought it would protect them from loss, from shame, from wrath, but all it did was entangle the innocent in invisible threads of delay and struggle. You've seen these threads, financial battles that never made sense, cycles of betrayal that repeat no matter how far you run. These were not just coincidences. They were chains. Archangel Michael says, even now, angels with blades of light are cutting through roots that have been coiled in your foundation since childhood. Your dreams have carried pieces of this. Scenes that never happened, faces you couldn't recognize, landscapes you've never walked but always seem familiar. These are echoes of spiritual contracts trying to surface before the breaking point arrives. You were not meant to carry this weight alone. Heaven has already dispatched reinforcement, but you must stay alert. Your tears are being recorded as evidence of your endurance, not as proof of your defeat. There is a relative, living or recently passed, who left a door open. Through that open door walked something disguised as opportunity but dripping with unseen venom. You are standing at the intersection of what was chosen and what must be corrected. God says your discernment is being sharpened by fire. This fire will hurt, but it will also reveal. Faces will shift before your eyes, and truths will rise that you were never supposed to carry until now. Type Amen to crush the lie that you are powerless. You are not. The winds obey the voice inside you when it aligns with divine justice. And that justice is already moving through your house like a storm made of light. The mirror that distorted your image was not faulty. It was a glimpse of a spiritual double trying to walk in your place, draining your joy, mimicking your steps. That mirror cracked slightly on its own, not from heat or pressure, but because the impostor was exposed. Archangel Michael says, "Your prayers have ignited a courtroom in the heavens. The gavel has not yet struck, but the accuser has already begun to stammer. Your bloodline's verdict is being rewritten, but you must remain steadfast. The person who carries this betrayal walks softly. They will not confront you, they will deceive you through omission, through silence, through acts that seem helpful but drain your divine energy. Watch the patterns. Watch the sudden fatigue that follows certain conversations. That is not just emotional exhaustion, it is a spiritual leak. The night is not your enemy, it is your ally now. It hides you from what was sent to stalk you in daylight. In your stillness, secrets will rise to the surface, like ink bleeding through water. God says you must prepare your soul, because confrontation is near. But this is not a confrontation of fists or words, it is one of knowing, of seeing, of refusing to be fooled again. Type Amen to receive angelic reinforcement before sleep. Tonight, your dreams will speak in fire. Do not run from what you see. It will not harm you. It will show you what must be broken before the blessing can arrive. The blessing is real. But it cannot flow through poisoned soil. That's why everything is shaking. That's why relationships feel unstable. That's why your own voice sometimes feels foreign in your throat. You are becoming. You are separating. You are shedding the final skin that held you in agreement with something that no longer has permission to use your life as a battlefield. Archangel Michael says, the shudder you felt in your chest this week was not fear, it was prophecy awakening. Your heart is catching up with what your spirit already knew. And soon, the liar in your circle will reveal themselves, not through words, but through a slip, a contradiction, a glance too long. Do not fear the storm that follows. That storm is cleansing you. That storm is burning contracts signed before you ever arrived. That storm is your proof that heaven is serious about your freedom. The veil thinned even more last night, and through it, something stepped closer wearing a familiar scent. You felt it in the way your skin chilled without wind, in how the silence around you became too loud to ignore. That was not coincidence. It was presence. A presence masked in trust, wearing the face of someone who once embraced you, who still laughs in your space, but whose heart has grown hollow with envy. They do not speak curses aloud, but they think them, and their thoughts carry weight in the realm of spirit. The betrayal does not come in fury, it comes in stillness, in small, consistent cracks in your peace. You've noticed how your joy shrinks after speaking with them, how your energy falters even when your body is rested. Their hands have touched you, but not in blessing. Their hands carry residue from altars you never bowed before. God says you have entered the season of divine unveiling. Masks will fall whether you are ready or not. Hidden allegiances will expose themselves without permission. Your discernment is being sharpened like the edge of a heavenly blade. No more second-guessing your intuition. You were not imagining the sudden shifts, the cold glances wrapped in warm words, the tension in rooms that used to feel safe. Archangel Michael says you are not being paranoid. You are being warned. The enemy hides best in the familiar, but heaven is no longer allowing them to remain cloaked. Type Amen and receive a mantle of holy perception. Every false friend, every hidden enemy, is now under divine surveillance. They cannot hide much longer. You were set apart for elevation, and this elevation offends those who remained stagnant while you silently climbed. They speak well of you in public, but in their private corners, their hearts whisper resentment. They pray for your delay, though their mouths never move. You are surrounded by people who smile through their teeth but secretly hope you stumble. This isn't new. This has been happening since childhood, only now, heaven is calling it to judgment. The betrayer is close. Not a stranger. Not a distant enemy. But one with access to your light. They come bearing advice, bearing gifts, bearing concern, but their spirit spills subtle poison. They carry fear dressed as caution, discouragement dressed as realism. And if you listen long enough, it begins to dim your flame. Archangel Michael says they planted words like seeds, waiting for you to speak them back so they could flourish in your soil. But you never did. You resisted. You kept your silence. That silence became your shield. You are not losing your mind. You are shedding illusions. You are not too sensitive. You are spiritually attuned. You are not isolating. You are being sanctified for separation. The betrayer has been trying to shift your path, not through grand sabotage, but through thousands of small manipulations. A suggestion here. A subtle guilt trip there. A change in tone when you spoke of breakthroughs. God says you must walk away, even if it breaks your heart. The blessing you are about to receive cannot be shared with those who harbor hidden malice. To allow them near it would taint the gift itself. Type Amen to break soul ties to silent enemies. Let every unclean bond now burn by holy fire. Let every entanglement in the spirit realm be severed without pain. The dream you had of falling was not about failure, it was a symbol of who was trying to pull you down. They were unseen in the dream, but they were the hands behind the fall. Now you know. Now you must act. They watched your light grow from a flicker into a flame, and though they never said it, they resented what heaven placed on you. Not because you did anything wrong, but because your breakthrough reminded them of everything they buried within themselves. Their spirit never celebrated you. It tolerated you. It endured you. It learned your rhythms and waited for a moment of weakness. But it underestimated the God who walks with you. Archangel Michael says you are surrounded by eyes in the spirit now, some to guard you, others to monitor you. The watchers assigned to bring delay are being confused. Their language is being scrambled. Their signals are being severed. You will see this play out soon in your reality. A conversation will reveal itself as a test. A gesture will shift your perception. And in that moment, you must not blink. You must not explain away what heaven is showing you. Type Amen and receive confirmation in the coming days. A sign will emerge, loud, undeniable, woven into something ordinary. But it will mark the exact moment the betrayer is exposed. They will not confess. They will not apologize. But they will stumble in their performance. And the moment their act slips, you must walk away without looking back. God says the betrayal was never to destroy you, it was to awaken you. You've cried over doors that were never meant to stay open. You've mourned connections that were always built on imbalance. That season is ending now. The betrayal is the catalyst. It is the fire under your wings. It is what will launch you into the next dimension of calling, unshackled, untainted, unseen by those who mean you harm. Archangel Michael says, their silence was never peace, it was strategy. Their absence was never distance, it was preparation. And now, they move closer, thinking the moment of sabotage has arrived. But they are too late. Because the blessing is already sealed. The covering is already placed. The door is already guarded. The night sky tore open in a violent burst of indigo and crimson, as if the heavens themselves were embroiled in cosmic war. You felt the surge rip through your spirit, a battle unfolding beyond mortal eyes, its echoes shaking your soul's foundation. This was no ordinary trial, it was the reckoning of light against darkness, a clash ordained before your first breath. Archangel Michael says this battle is not merely external but fiercely internal, where every doubt and fear is a battleground for your destiny. Your heart is the fortress where shadows press against the gates, seeking entry, hoping to unravel the thread of divine purpose sewn into your being. But the light within you is a blazing sword, forged in trials, ready to cut through all deceit. You have been tested in silence, wounded in places unseen, and betrayed by those closest. Yet, you remain standing, though the ground beneath your feet quivers with uncertainty. The moon trembled behind torn clouds, casting fleeting silver light on a path tangled with spiritual snares. Every step you take is laden with both peril and promise. God says the weight of this conflict is immense, but it is a necessary crucible. Your suffering is not punishment, it is preparation. The pain that twists your gut is the harbinger of transformation, the deep ache that precedes awakening. You were never meant to walk a smooth road, your path is carved in storms. The enemy lashes out with whispers of despair, feeding on your fatigue, trying to make you question your worth. They want you to believe that your prayers are unheard, your efforts unnoticed. But your tears are rivers flowing toward divine mercy, your cries the anthem of angels rallying at your side. Archangel Michael says now is the moment to stand unyielding, to anchor your soul in truth. The shadows are thickest just before dawn. The darkness that seeks to consume you is also the canvas for your light to blaze brightest. Your spirit is a beacon, a lighthouse for those lost in the fog of fear and betrayal. Type Amen and receive the armor of divine strength. Let the celestial fire ignite your courage. Every weapon formed against you will be broken, every snare dismantled. The heavens decree your victory even before the final blow is struck. The betrayal you endured was a wound, but it is also a signal flare to the heavens. Your prayers have summoned legions, your heart's purity has lit the way. The forces arrayed against you do not know the extent of your divine backing, they underestimate the sacred power woven into your DNA. Your dreams, once haunted by shadows, will now be flooded with light. The nightmares will lose their grip, unraveling like smoke in the morning sun. The visions you receive in moments of stillness are not mere fantasy but strategic revelations. They are blueprints for your deliverance. God says you must embrace this conflict, not as victim but as warrior. Each attack is a call to deeper faith, each trial a step closer to your appointed destiny. The spiritual realm reflects the battle raging in your mind and heart. Surrendering is not an option. Archangel Michael says your voice will rise in the coming days, a voice of authority, a voice of liberation. The silence forced upon you will break like glass, scattering shards of truth that will expose the enemy's deception. You are no longer a silent prisoner but a roaring lion set free. Type Amen to awaken the roar within. Let your spirit shake the heavens and the earth. Your breakthrough is a tidal wave, unstoppable and cleansing. The enemy's hold on your life dissolves in the flood of divine justice. The climax of this battle will be unexpected, swift, and decisive. The scales will tip suddenly, the darkness will falter, and the light will surge like a wildfire consuming all that resists it. You will not only survive, you will rise gloriously. God says this moment is a divine invitation to transformation. What the enemy intended for harm, God will use for your exaltation. The broken pieces of your past will be reforged into a crown of glory. Your destiny is not destruction, it is divine ascendancy. Archangel Michael says prepare yourself for this holy eruption. Shield your mind, fortify your heart, and summon every ounce of faith. The battle rages, but victory is already declared. You stand on the precipice of miracles unseen. The moon, now fully revealed, bathes you in silver light, a sacred seal of protection. The air hums with holy electricity as the final confrontation draws near. Your spirit is a fortress, your resolve the sword. The enemy is exposed, vulnerable, and trembling. Type Amen and claim your victory now. The heavens applaud your endurance. Your breakthrough is not just coming, it is here. A sudden stillness fell upon the earth as the first rays of dawn pierced the horizon, setting the sky ablaze with hues of gold and fire. You felt it deep within, a shift so profound it rippled through your entire being. The door you feared would remain closed forever is now slowly creaking open, revealing a realm of blessings beyond human comprehension. Archangel Michael says the heavens have moved on your behalf, releasing torrents of favor, protection, and revelation. The spiritual chains that bound you have shattered beneath the weight of divine justice. Your journey through darkness has forged a new armor, one woven from unbreakable faith and relentless hope. The betrayal, the conflict, the battles fought in silence, they were not in vain. Each moment of pain was a stepping stone toward this very hour, the cusp of your greatest transformation. The moon's trembling has given way to the steady light of the sun, and with it, clarity floods your soul. God says your perseverance has summoned the dawn. The blessings held back by unseen forces are now released in abundance. Your breakthrough will come not as a whisper but as a roaring cascade of miracles that will shake every area of your life. The enemy watches helplessly as their plans unravel, their schemes exposed to the light. Their shadows retreat, unable to withstand the radiance of your newfound strength. The door once closed tight with fear and doubt swings open wide with divine invitation. Type Amen and receive the keys to this sacred door. Unlock every blessing God has reserved for you. Step boldly into your destiny, leaving behind every burden that weighed you down. Archangel Michael says this is your moment of ascendancy. The spiritual realm celebrates as your name is written in the scrolls of victory. The promises whispered to your heart in moments of despair are now being fulfilled with spectacular clarity. Your spirit soars as you walk through the doorway. The air around you is thick with the scent of incense and the sound of angels' wings. You are clothed in glory, your past trials transformed into testimonies of power. God says the blessings coming your way are not temporary but eternal. They will birth new seasons of peace, prosperity, and purpose. You are entering a dimension where miracles are the norm and favor follows your every step. The lingering doubts and fears that once gripped your soul dissolve like morning mist. You stand firm on a foundation built by divine hands, unyielding, unshakable, unstoppable. The betrayal that once threatened to break you now serves as a catalyst for your rise. Archangel Michael says the door is open, but the choice to enter remains yours. Do not hesitate. Do not look back. The journey ahead is luminous with promise, guarded by celestial hosts and sealed by holy fire. Type Amen and walk through the threshold of your destiny. Receive the fullness of your blessing. Know that every step forward is under divine protection. The sun now bathes the world in radiant light, illuminating paths previously hidden. Your spirit is refreshed like a river after rain, flowing freely toward the horizon of God's perfect plan. Your breakthrough is no longer a distant hope but a living reality. God says the time of waiting is over. The door to your blessings has been unlocked by faith and forged by perseverance. Step inside and claim all that heaven has prepared for you. Archangel Michael says, "Rise, beloved child. The battle is won, the enemy defeated, the blessings unleashed. Your life will never be the same again."